What's up, guys? This is TheKephas. So, as you've noticed by the title, it seems that Warlocks, when leveling up, do not really require a gnome sequencer macro. Now, that's pretty much all I'm going to be saying. I will explain why, but if you don't need to know why, if you don't want to hear me ramble on, that's all you really need to know. There's no need for a Warlock macro for gnome sequencer, especially when you're leveling up. So you can leave if you don't want to hear anything else, but I will go into detail as to why. There really isn't much to say. It's just how the Warlock plays. So the point of the way you're going to play a Warlock is you're going to get your dots, your debuffs, your damage over time abilities. You'll acquire more as you level up. You get most of them pretty early on, but if you are, speccing the right way, you will unlock Siphon Life. That'll be your fourth and final debuff, your damage over time that you're going to be using, and that's it. You're going to be doing those, and then you're going to be using your wand. You'll use Drain Soul every now and then to get an extra shard if you need it for your demon, and then there's really no easy way to macro managing your demon because if you don't have the soul shards, then your macro is going to get locked down. Point being, there's really no need to macro a Warlock because it just doesn't work. So I'm going to show you what I've done now. As you can see, I do have a basic macro, so we're going to go old school. We'll go to the macros. I'll show you exactly what I've done. I've created a macro that's just called dots, okay? And it's a show tool. You can copy it. I mean, I'm not going to share this. It's very easy. It takes you 10 seconds to make. It will send your pet to attack with /pet attack, shows the tooltip, and then it just follows a basic cast sequence that will reset each time you switch to a different target. Or it resets once you go through it. You can go through it again if you want to. So it's going to use Immolate first, then Curse of Agony, Corruption, and then it'll finish things up with Siphon Life. Okay, so that's what it's going to do. Obviously, if you don't have Siphon Life, it's going to just stop once you get to Corruption. Now, I've found that when fighting in, as a Warlock, you're only going to need to be putting these dots one time on the target before it dies. That's when you're solo leveling, okay? So obviously if you're in a dungeon or a raid or whatever, you're going to be doing things differently. You really shouldn't use macros in those situations anyways, but for an easy leveling experience, you can just make something like this. And then of course, if you've spec'd into Amplified Curse, then you can also put a cast Amplified Curse down there. It'll use that whenever it's on cooldown. So I don't even need a gnome sequencer macro. I can just make a basic macro like this, put up my debuffs, and then just shoot with my wand. That's literally all that you need to do with a Warlock. And then, of course, if you ever need to cast Fear or Drain Soul or any of these other abilities, then you can just cast those on separate buttons because that's how they're going to work anyway. So that's literally all that you need to do with this class. You don't need a gnome sequencer macro. There's no need for me to make one and then share it or whatever. But I'll show you what I do here. I'm just going to use my macro. As you can see, send my pet to attack. I also use Immolate. Hit it a second time to put up Curse, and then hit it again to use Corruption, and then I hit my shoot ability to just use my wand until this thing dies. That's literally all that I have to do. And of course, if I want to Drain Soul, I just hit a button for that. That's literally all you're going to be doing the entire leveling process. So you don't even need a macro. There is Shadow Bolt, but you're never really going to need to use it. It's more efficient to just use your wand and put your dots up. That's literally it. Okay, so if you have the spirit for it, obviously you're not going to have any trouble with mana. It's really never going to be an issue. Warlocks are pretty awesome. They're pretty easy to level up, and they're really simple. So there's really no need for a macro. Like I said, sorry I don't have a macro here. I just wanted to make a video explaining it. Like I said, I mentioned early on if you didn't want to hear me ramble. So I didn't want to waste anybody's time with it, but you please understand that I do get asked the question, why is there not a Warlock macro? Are you ever going to be making a Warlock macro? So I'm basically making this video for those people to understand why there isn't a Warlock macro and why you won't need one. So if you didn't need to know that, or if you already understood why, this video obviously was not made for you. It was made for people that would ask the question. So that's what this is for. I hope this explains it for you. I hope this was helpful. Please, by all means, let me know. I hope that these guides and stuff and these little videos like this help explain things. So I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned and it makes sense to you. And I will see you guys on the next one. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, let me know by clicking that like button. And feel free to share it with your friends so they can enjoy it as well. Don't forget, you can subscribe to the channel and click on the bell icon to be notified as soon as new videos are posted. You can also follow me on Facebook and Twitter, and if you'd like, you can support this channel on Patreon. Links to all of this can be found in the description below. This is TheKephas, Until next time.